Today is Tuesday, November 26th. You are looking at a daily chart of the Nasdaq, which was up 119 points or 0.63%, closed at 19,174, and the volume was average, the 50-day average today. So finally, we had a day that was not above the 50-day average. Since the election, it's been above every day, but still a strong volume day considering this is a Thanksgiving week and tomorrow is the last full day of the week. Thursday, obviously, we enjoy family Thanksgiving, and then Friday's a half a day. Anyway, just wanted to point out that the Nasdaq super healthy here, 119%, excuse me, 119% point move, and 1.6% above the 21, 3.7% above the 50. So really healthy grind higher. And when the Nasdaq's higher, we know that it's Microsoft and Amazon and those stocks are doing well, but I'm not going to get into all those today. I want to talk a little bit about the S&P 500, which has been up 7 days in a row, closed at an all-time high of 6,021. The prior high was 6,017, I believe. Yeah, closed at 6,001, so 20 points above the prior high closing. So, really strong market we have here, making new highs. You can't complain about that, right? November 11th, it hit the high, and now today, the 26th, 15 days later, it makes another new high. And like I said, when markets are, in uptrend, they'll continue to make highs as we go, along. There's your high, and then we have another one today. So high after high after high, and then you have, of course, the higher lows. Higher highs, higher lows. Definition of an uptrend, which we're in right now. And the Dow Jones Industrial Average is really strong as well. Another record close for the Dow Jones, up 124 points, 0.28%. The volume on the Dow Jones is 5% below. So we're starting to see maybe some, not stalling, but a little slower action here as people take off to be with their families here for Thanksgiving. This is 4.8% above its 50, so super strong index. And then the IWM, it kind of took the day off. I guess it's trying to fill the gap here at 239.24. The low today was 239.43, so it came within just a whisker of closing the gap. Anyway, I guess we can call that close in spirit, right? If it wants to, decide to take off tomorrow, we're not going to argue with that. Anyway, those are the major indexes. I'm going to just go straight to because I don't want to show all these Magnificent Seven stocks. This is Amazon. I'm going to anyway, right? Had a nice bounce yesterday, and once again today. Obviously, this bull wedge pattern working once again. Google, which was in, I don't know. I guess the government's going to make them sell off Chrome, spin off Chrome. Anyway, this is pulled back to its 200 and finally bounced. Microsoft up 2% today. It was below its 200, finally bounced, still consolidating within this base. Microsoft has a lot of work to do. Tesla's another one in the group. Just, I don't know, flat in the session, allowing the moving average to catch up. Apple, I guess it's one of the Magnificent Sevens, right? Let me see how, yeah. Still consolidating within a base, and then Meta Platforms, yeah, consolidating within a base. NVIDIA, this thing was going to take off when it wants to, not when we want it to. Very frustrating here. It's everybody can see this is just a nice chart, the pattern. You think it's going to take off when it pulls back here, and it just comes right back in. Had earnings last week, popped above 150, and now pulls back yesterday to its 50 simple moving average. And just, you think it's going to pop at some point, but it just doesn't. So it's going to move when it wants to, probably when nobody's looking. It'll make that move. But yeah, yesterday the low was 135, close today 136. So it's just really doing nothing. Pretty frustrating. All right, I'm going to get to some of the earnings report last night. Zoom Video reported and had a negative response, right? I mean, all these companies can do is just deliver the numbers, and allow Wall Street to figure it out. This is Dick's, pretty strong numbers, raised guidance, had a great back to school sale. They're taking market share, raising guidance, and the stock sells off. So, these earnings moves are just really, it's hard to figure them out. They're kind of wacky. Abercrombie and Fitch. Now, we saw a little bit of, slowing growth, so 14%, and then 37% earnings growth. Not enough, pulls back to its 200, down 5% on that new data point. ADI, man, this one I thought was going to move this morning. This is why you really can't trust pre-market and the open. It gave you the old okey doke there. It was up to what, 233 in the morning and then close at 219. So that's really tough if you're long analog devices and it's below the 50 and trading down to the 200. That's pretty rough candle right there. Following an earnings report, 17% of the daily range there it closed at. Burlington, another decent report, but just not a good response here. 1.6% lower. Good sales and earnings, just not enough for Wall Street, I guess. Their guidance expectations are high. SMTC Simtech, this is a semiconductor fabless stock. They reported fabless data and fabless move higher. We can see it here. Gapped higher at the open, just traded higher and higher and higher, and then some profit taking into the close. But congrats to the longs there. That's a nice move with volume for Simtech shareholders. TBBB, this is a food, recent IPO. The IPO in February. It's been doing really well. Here you can see the base, another base starting to advance. And then today fell out 12% on their earnings report. It was a pretty good report, but like I said, expectations are high. And this is an IPO, and there's just profit taking. We'll see if buyers come back in today. There you can see the move lower and selling into the close. So anyway, RIVN was in the news today. He's getting some money from the government. Man, that stock was still down. That thing just cannot get out of its own way. And then PSTX, acquired by Roche, had a nice day today, up 227% on the buyout. All right. I'm going to get to some of the themes here that I talk about a lot, and they're still intact, but they don't go up every day or every week or even every month. Stocks take time to pull back. They pull back to their 50, they pull back to their 200. That doesn't mean that the theme is not in play anymore. This is Amgen reported a phase 2 trial today. Their weight loss drug was not up to snuff, and the market sold off, 4.8%. I had people telling me that, this is why you don't ever buy drug stocks. Well, the Amgen's been a powerhouse for years and years and years. I could show you graphs and data from stocks. Since I'm on this subject, because this stuff pisses me off. I've made a lot of money in biotech, okay? Over the years, if you owned Eli Lilly for 20 years, you've done okay, or Novo Nordisk, right? Or Vertex. There's a lot of them, Regeneron. Yeah, these stocks make a ton of money in the, this century, all right? But if you just wanted to look at some recently, from like last year. Well, who's done well in the last year? Well, these stocks, some have done okay, some haven't. But you look at Viking in the last year, it's up what, 330%, not bad. TGTX, one that I like, that's up 167%. CORT, yeah, there's a lot of stocks here you can make money with in the market. It's just not all of them are going to be like Sava, they don't all sell off. It's down 82%. I just wanted to make that point. Don't be afraid, to own biotech stocks. Sure, I always say there's some, it's outhouse or penthouse with these things. But if you do your homework, you can do well on biotech. It's one of the areas that I've done really well in. And one of the stocks that have done really well with this is Eli Lilly. This weight loss category is still intact. It's still in play. You could take a look at the weekly chart. Yeah, it made a high here and then sold off. Some people think, oh man, it's in a stage 4 decline. It's below its 200. I don't know. I still think Lilly, there's a lot of a lot of moving parts here with, like Biden just tried to get Medicare and Medicaid to cover it. There's manufacturing issues. There's a lot of issues, but longer term, this is a huge theme. And Lilly's got a patent till like 2039 or something. So this is going to play out over the next 10 or 15 years. And don't get too caught up in a couple of months of a downturn. I think Lilly's still a fantastic stock. Same with Novo. Same thing here. It went up on the AMGN news, and this looks horrific. Since the Catalent deal back in March, February, I don't know, probably not going to get approved, at least not until you get a new administration. But that's coming next year, so possibly, Novo can turn it around. TGTX, I just wanted to show you something on like a 30-minute chart here. Yeah, it made this high. There was a rumor that it was going to be bought out, and it made this high here, and it kind of retested the high and then got rejected 3 times at that high. So you own this stock, that 36.50 area, got rejected there. About a week later, on the, what is this, the 21st, so this must be the 14th. Yeah, on the 14th hit 36.50, and then it rejected, came back, hit 36.50 or 36.40, got rejected, came back yesterday, hit 36.80, I believe. Yeah, 36.84 and got rejected. So it's probably going to, wallow around 33, 34 and make another run at that 36.50 area. Just an observation. You could see it there on the daily chart. It's been rebuffed there, rejected, got Matambo 3 times, and it'll probably, pull back to its. I'm going to change the moving average here, if you'll indulge me for a moment, to the 5, because leading stocks are pulling back to their 5, finding support and bouncing. There's TGTX. So maybe, one more day of pullback, or maybe it finds support and bounces tomorrow. It's right at the 5, and it's definitely a leading stock. All right, that's it for the drug theme. I'm going to move on to the data centers. The data centers have there's many components to the data centers, not the data centers themselves, but the cooling, the energy. There's a lot of different components. I'm going to look at the HVAC component. This is a Comfort System, just continuing to make new highs, just super strong stock. Got to look at this one on the weekly, just plodding higher. I mean, and I remember, I think it was the summer of 23. A friend and I were trading this one. It was like 150 or something, and now it's like 500. I mean, sometimes stop trading, just hold on to the damn thing. I, I texted me the other day, said, "Do you see what Fix is doing?" Yes, I see it, darn it. Sometimes, trading, you could trade yourself into trouble. Uh, Modine Manufacturing, another one. 140, 172 is definitely an area that I would consider, that old high there. It traded above it, then pulled back to its 5 here. If, I would put this on the ready list, or at least the watch list. This is likely to bounce off its 5 either tomorrow or Friday or next week. I'm not going to limit it to a certain time, but it should pop higher. Train Technologies, another one, just grinding higher on its 5 EMA, pull back to the 51 time. Just it's a monster stock. These ones are super strong. Dave Lennox, LII, another strong stock. Yeah, made a new high yesterday, pulled back to the 5 today. So that'll probably pop soon. Oh, and then I'm going to throw Vertiv in there. This one made a high last week, and now it's below its 5, and the 5's curling lower. I don't really like this. It's probably going to pull back to its 10. I'm not going to switch back. But you could probably say that 10 is cruising right along here like that. So I would be surprised if this thing didn't, on these strong leading stocks, they're not going to pull back forever. This one pulled back 3 days now. It's going to find support pretty soon. I don't know if it's at the 10 or maybe the 21. It might even come back to the 50 for the first time since the breakout, and that would certainly be a gift. But we'll see. It's going to get support and pop at some point. So that's kind of the data center, cooling, HVAC play. And I want to talk a little about the food. I got to talk about food. I'm hungry. Um, it's getting on dinner time. in the East Coast. Uh, the Sprouts Farmers Market, some guy is telling me this is a short because it broke its upper trend line, right here. I don't even know how many points ago this was, but this is why you don't try to call tops. Yeah, 135 there. Now it's at 153. So this thing's just surfing its five. Pretty obvious to see. I mean, a kindergartner can see that. The green line, follow the green line. Yeah, that's all you got to do if you own it. If it trades below it, then you got decisions to make. But as long as it stays and finds support there and trades above it, you're making money. And 5 days is not very long, right? The five EMA. All right, VITL. This is the egg. The egg. The Austin, Texas egg play. They have eggs. I guess I don't know. I don't eat eggs. It's been a pretty popular stock though. Definitely a double bottom base here, and now it's coming off the bottom, trying to rally back through. So watch it, trying to rally through the 50 and that 37.29 area would be an area of interest for me if it has the strength to drive through there. DoorDash, this is my favorite one in the food group, including the restaurant stocks, I think. Anyway, made a high today and then pull back. I got an alert that it went through 180. You can see the green flag there. Alert, alert, Marty, 180, time to sell. And it went up to 180, 130, and then just pull back a little bit. All right. Now I'm going to go to one of my favorite themes here, and this is the baby boomers. The parents and grandparents are taking distributions out of their 401ks and they're living their best life. And we can see it in these airline stocks. Delta looks pretty darn good. Alaska, just pull back to its five today. United Airlines, yeah, pull back, not even to its five today. These are strong, really strong stocks. Viking up 3 something percent. Nice move there. And the close looks like near the high of the daily range at 82%. You can see RS line driving through the moving averages. So that's super strong stock, Viking. If you have that one, congrats. RCL, Royal Caribbean, this one just keeps inching higher along with the five. Super strong stock. And then Carnival and Cruise Lines, another new high today. So that is definitely a theme that is playing out. And people are cashing in and cashing out. Cash out on the boomers. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right. Some of the defensive names, man, I missed this one. I'm really upset that I did, but I just got to let it go. This is Rocket Labs. It was up a lot today. It closed at 59% of the daily range. 2671 was the high. So definitely a rocket in the aerospace and defense names. One name that I'm looking at here is GE. Why? Well, it's consolidating within a base and it's trading above its down, is starting to trade above its downtrend line here today. It just popped out of there 2.4%. Trading tight within a base, obviously showing the ability to make big moves here. So GE is definitely on my radar. And one more in the defense groups, or maybe two more. FTAI made a new high and then pulled back to the five. We like that. And then ERJ is another one that just broke out of this base here and made a new high today. It's up to 40 bucks now. Nice. So congrats to the longs there. All right, back to the data centers. Construction, data center, power, energy plays. One that I haven't talked about for a while, but I really like this one is Quanta Services PWR. Not much to say here. I mean, it broke out from the base, pulled back to the 51 time, and now it's just riding its five to higher prices. So nothing to do there but hang on, count your chips. Not at the table though. You got to cash them in. This is a Sterling, another new high today. Above 200, could not close above 200, but it did trade above 200. And so I'm definitely watching that. The old high was 201.27. Today made a high of 203.49. You can see big volume coming in today, which is kind of strange on a holiday week. VST, another energy play. Pull back 2 days to the five. Pop today, what, 5.5%. I did put this one on the writer list because this is the top performing stock in the S&P 500 in 2024. And fund managers are going to want this on the books come the end of the year. And so, I pulled back 2 days to the 5. I figured, that's probably a good time to get in. And, every time, blind squirrel finds a nut every now and again. So a nice trade there for VST. That one was certainly strong, as was Constellation. There's a lot of noise with these energy stocks in regards to the Talon Amazon deal. And they're having some difficulty with the regulators, but I think it'll all be cleared up. This one's still consolidating with the base within its base. Now it undercut the 50 and now rallied through it. So that definitely is a stock of interest now, as it was lagging, and now it looks looks a lot different. One day makes a big difference, right? GEV, once again, pull back 1 or 2 days, just finding support, moving higher. It's pulled back to the 10, up 3% today. So that one very strong. And so this is the data center energy plays, and construction energy as well as the cooling. There's a lot of components than just the data centers themselves. All right, going back to the food group, the retail restaurant group. I got to tell you, Dutch Bros I think this is a longer term hold. It's taking market share from Starbucks. They've been delivering quarter after quarter after quarter. I think they're going to continue riding the 5 here, making a new high today. Looks fantastic. Shake Shack pulled back below its 50, undercut the 50, now has rallied like 5 or 6 days in a row. That one looks good. And then Texas Roadhouse, another one of these retail restaurant names, making new highs today. All right, that's enough of that. I've got to commiserate with some of my crypto bros. This one, MicroStrategy, had a hell of a run, right? From the breakout from 200, last week it was up to what, 543. Now it's pulled back sharply the last few sessions down to the 21 today, which is roughly what, 336. Yeah. And now I wouldn't say it's popped. I wouldn't say it found support, but maybe it's bottoming here. I don't know, at the 21. You got to wait and see. But man, if you rode that up, please don't write it down, man. Do not do that and hope that it's going to go back to 543, because the likelihood of that is, not good. If you made that money, man, do not give it back. I was on that train and I'm out of there because I'm not a real big crypto guy. Just I got lucky once again. Let me see what else. Oh, Coinbase. Yeah, Coinbase is just trading flat near that buy point near 280, 284, we'll call it. So that doesn't look too bad. Hood had a nice run as well. Now just pulled back to the 5. Hood looks, better than the rest of them for sure. Not doing too bad. And the last group I'm going to cover is the software names. GoDaddy hit 200 today. I got another alert here. Got alerts all over for GoDaddy, and just pulled back above 200 to 202.56, and then closed at 199.73. So we'll see how it behaves around that 200 level. App 11, telling you this one's not dead. I get people harassing me all the time about this. I think it's got a couple weeks to go. That's just my opinion. All it's doing is surfing its 5. Sometimes it gets a little bit ahead of itself, like here on November 20th. It got up to 342 and then it pulled back. Nothing wrong with that. It pulled back to its 5. And then yesterday, on Monday, it made a big run in the morning and then pulled back 344.77, just pulled back to the 5. And today had an inside day up 3%, but that's not that's not the end of the world. To me, it looks fine. If we go to well, not the 5 minute, let's go to the 10 minute. Yeah, you can see these peaks and valleys, but to me, it's still trending higher along the 5. So I don't think it's topped. I do think it's got more juice in it. My next flag is going to be here at 350. I think it takes out 350. You heard it here first. And then Palantir. This is one that, I have mixed feelings about this one. It is riding its 5 like App 11, but this one's a little longer in its rally. I think it's 17 weeks now. So Yeah, but if it wants to break out and make new highs like it did yesterday, I mean, I'm going along for the ride. Not gonna in a uptrending bull market like we have, you don't want to cut your winners off too soon. But you do want to take profits, especially if you're holding something like this. I mean, you got to take profits because that's just that's too much pain there from 543 did I say down to what 338? Yeah, you can't take a $200 loss. Hell no. All right. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching at mcstockcharts.com. We never give up, except for in honor of the great Steve Jobs. I have one more thing. We have earnings tonight from Dell. Doesn't look too good for Dell, down 6%. That could impact your hardware names. Data center plays tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see because that's a big kahuna, 100 billion market cap stock. CrowdStrike reported tonight. Software name, it's flattish. I didn't get to see the report. Our power went out, so TVs haven't come back on, and I just haven't been. That's why I'm trying to make this video quick before my power goes back on. Workday reported another software name. Hopefully this one's not okay. It's 8%. That stinks. 71 billion market cap. So crowd down, workday down, ADSK, another software. Ugh, three software names down. So yeah, this is a 70 billion market cap too. So those are some big stocks that are trading lower. HP, another hardware name. HPQ, right? HPQ. Please don't be down 8% after hours. This is consolidating nicely within a base, but it looks like, well, we'll just have to wait and see. Don't always trust these after hours moves because they reverse. Often they reverse. All right, we got a fabulous stock up 21%. Semiconductor Ambarella, nice move here. This is going to break out of a base. Wow, 83.64. Hopefully that holds. This is a stage one base, 65 area buy point. Man, fantastic move. We'll have to wait and see how that does tomorrow. Hopefully the sellers don't come in and mess that up. Urban Outfitters, URBN. Reported after hours. Okay, it's up 2%. Retail's really had a tough go of it, man. I know it broke out yesterday, but just came right back down today. This is a 3% move for this is a financial services, but it's a Bitcoin play, crypto play. So small potatoes, less than 2 billion market cap. And then NTNX and another software name. Okay, NTNX is up 8%. So mixed bag for tomorrow. But anyway, I had mentioned the retail XRT, and I posted the top 10 components of this. But you can see it broke out yesterday and then pulled back today slightly. But some of the top names in there is Carvana, yeah, slight pullback. Believe it or not, Victoria's Secret, yeah. And then some of the shoe names, pull back today. Deckers, slight pullback. Not too bad. ON, yeah, it's a slight pullback. Crocs pull back a little bit more. Yeah. Anyway, 4% move. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Tomorrow I'll have more information about these stocks with their earnings reports tonight and ready list and at mcstockcharts.com. We never give up. Have a good evening.